friends, it's Lisa here from Arcaneandstellar with a timeless pick a card reading, and we're going to be looking at, will the person on your mind, maybe the people, will they regret their decision? So kind of their actions, their decisions that they're making now, whether it's a decision, an action, maybe it's a treatment, maybe it's kind of something that's transpired between you and another person. Will they regret this in the future? You could apply this to really any situation. It might be, will they regret what they've said? Will they regret, that they broke up with me? Will they regret that they didn't honor my choices, therefore I, had to walk away? It's going to really cover anything. So, in that situation of like possible, remorse in the future. Now, we have 4 different groups to choose from, and you can choose more than one situation. You might feel like, I have this one person I kind of wonder about, this other person, and this other situation. You could kind of see, take your time to meditate on the cards and the person or the, situation, and see where you're feeling drawn. The timestamps will be down below as always, and I want to thank you all so much for being here. If you want to join my membership, you can get some exclusive content, so there's a join button down below if you want to check that out. I also appreciate super thanks. You can leave a tip on the video if you enjoy it, but the most important thing is that if you can leave a comment letting me know, hello, or, just to leave a comment, that's, free, and it helps out us YouTubers quite a lot. So, take your, if you can't take your time to comment, that'd be great. But I wish you all the very, very best, and I'll go ahead and get started on this reading. Let's go. Hello to those of you that chose group number 1. I want to say a huge thank you to the Harmony Spirit. She's one of my favorite readers on YouTube, and actually she created a deck, sent it to me all the way from Europe, and as a, just a sweet gesture. If you want to pick this up, I'm going to have it down below in the description box, okay? So if you want to get your own copy of this deck, you're more than welcome to do it, and I think it's a beautiful deck, and I'm very proud of her for her achievement, which came from a very difficult situation. I was very touched by her guidebook. She lost her father not too long after I lost my sister last year, and it's, it's not easy, to lose those people we love, and as many of you might know that have also lost someone. So what an amazing person she is. So let's see here. The person, situation on your mind, those that are drawn to this group, Spirit Guides answer this question with honesty, clarity, and understanding. So will the person or situation, will there be remorse in the future? Will there be regrets for these actions? Okay, we've got follow the leader. I already get the sense that somehow this is like a situation in which somebody sort of isn't being a leader themselves. Maybe they're swayed by another. Okay, that's kind of what I'm wondering here. If there's not like a, sort of a swaying behavior, someone else swaying their opinion, their ideas. There also could be a lack of leadership as well. Maybe they're not taking a move as well, that sort of thing too. It could be a situation in which, there's been like maybe the drop off of like taking action or taking charge of a situation, not being strict enough or following through. Okay, let's see here. Will a person regret their actions in the future? Or the situation, will there be regret or remorse here in the future? I'm going to take 6 cards. I do see quite a stubborn energy here. Let's see what they get clarified by, though. Page of Wands. It's clarified by the 3 of Wands. So here we go. This one is a bit, ultimately yes, but this person is quite like a stubborn one. Whoever you're dealing with, they're very much about their needs, their desires, their fulfillment, their sort of situation. If this is like, this also might be someone who feels like somehow things are expendable, or that they have, for instance, this could be the type of situation where they might think they have other people to look to, or like if it were a job, just as an example, it could be like, oh, well, we'll just hire someone else, that sort of thing. Okay, and but ultimately we have the Ten of Swords. this to me, and this is just my way of reading tarot, but I always kind of look toward the last cards to really see the future energy, sort of like, I don't do like past, present, future. Oh, sometimes I do, but not in this case. It's more like the progression and how things build up. So it's almost like at the end of it all, there will be a sense of like failure, okay? Because we have the Ten of Swords, and a sense of maybe feeling stuck, no going back. You know, the damage has been done as well. And with the Hierophant, you know, the Hierophant, we see the tree there representing this idea of morality, stability, sort of like deep-rooted ideas. It's almost like these deep-rooted ideas or traditions or choices are not like serving them in the end. And again, with all the different, you know, we have two different people cards here. Again, this may come from immature reactions or immature behavior, ideas, thoughts for the future. Again, they might be kind of like either young or somehow acting in a way that is like, and maybe this is part of their journey to wise up, because, you know, we have the Page of Wands and the Three of Wands, and we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. And it might be that, you know, as they grow older, especially for those of you that are dealing with a younger person, as they grow older, as they gain experience in life, as they sort of, you know, pass a certain level of wisdom, there will be a remorse, because they'll kind of look back. You know, like, have you ever had that situation where, you know, we've all said asshole things when we were kids or something. We're like, oh my God, why did I say that? That was so mean. Like, you know what I mean? And we realize it more when we get older, like how careless it might have sounded, even if we didn't intentionally mean it badly. It's like that sort of thing where life teaches you the lesson of, and it could be that somehow this person could have some sort of karma come back to them in a way, you know what I mean? Where they are going to be somehow, you know, given back this lesson in a harsh way, like sort of like life will teach them, that sort of thing, okay? So tell me more about this remorse. So we've got the imprisonment, or this regret, this remorse. Tell me more. The House. And thoughts. Okay, so essentially too, what I think could happen here is that someone could be maybe imprisoned with these memories, actually. So it could be the situation where it's like this person sort of gets stuck with the memories and they can't quite let them go. And to me, the House represents like a very intimate kind of part of ourselves and kind of very internal. And again, imprisonment also kind of confined as well. And then we have thoughts. So these are definitely pointing towards that, like sort of confined thoughts that sort of haunt them perhaps. It also feels like somehow this is keeping you away from them, or that they aren't near you. They can't come near you. They can't be around you anymore. That sort of thing, you know? So they all think, but they can't touch or speak or reach out, because maybe for some of you, this person now, in the past or in the future, will blow it, like to where the fact like you wouldn't want to deal with them anymore, or that you wouldn't go back. So there's no really getting out of this. It's sort of like they're trapped in this, like they can't fix it. So it's like, yeah, it feels like that sort of thing, like where you just, they can't move, like they'll just kind of like sit with these thoughts, but they can't ever change it. And that may be sort of the karma. Anything else here for group number 1? We have success and grace. Wise woman of the grove, and then the secret spring, success. So this is, one second, I just want to, one more card. Willow spirit. You know, willows are ruled by Saturn, and there's that song Willow by Taylor Swift. Oh my God, every time I hear that song I burst into tears, because it was like, I listened to that a lot when my sister passed away. It was just like, because that was her favorite album at the time, and so my mom and I listened to it the entire time she was like in the coma, and it was just like, Oh my God. If I remember not too long ago, I heard it on the radio at Subway and I just burst into tears. My kids are like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. I just can't listen to this song." But yeah, willows are, and it's funny because actually Taylor Swift has Saturn conjunct Mercury and she always sings Saturnian songs. Holy smokes, you know? She's a very Saturnian singer. But yeah, willows are actually, and every Saturn singer I know that has very strong Saturn talks about willows. But anyway, yeah, it is ruled by, so this could also talk about old age. Okay, because Saturn can talk about when we're older. We also have the wise woman of the grove. Sorry, that's where I was going with this. And here we have 48, 49. So again, it might be, you know, progression has to happen. Again, if this person's quite rigid or... What the heck is that noise? One moment. Sorry, guys. Oh, my husband's phone, it started ringing. It's actually his out-of-country SIM card, so it never rings, but someone is like misdialing it probably. Okay. Anyway, sorry, that scared the heck out of me because I'm like, my phone isn't in this room. What is that? Buzzing. Okay. So anyway, yeah, no, I feel like this person may feel like real good right now, and I'm going to tell you, I think that the situation, like the regret comes later. Okay, the regret won't happen next week. The regret won't happen in 6 months, probably even, or even maybe a year. It's going to happen as they get older, as they kind of learn, you know what I mean, lessons from life and they go about things. But I think by that point that they learn, it's going to be honestly too late to repair. It'll be like maybe you're long gone from their life. You're happy, you're doing something else, that sort of thing. Let me take a message here and I'll try. This is a general reading, so I don't like to get sometimes too specific with all the messages, but I want to see like maybe what you are learning from this situation. Like what is the purpose for you to go through such things? Like what's the deal, you know, when it comes to yourself? I don't know what your situation is, but if you want to let me know who you asked about, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Oof. Okay, let me get these cards back in. Bam, and bam, bam, bam. Okay, and then I'll take this one. Where did it go? There we go. And what is the purpose, or like what should group number one, those that are drawn to this group, what should they know about this connection? Like maybe their lesson or what they need to know, essentially. It doesn't have to be a lesson, it can just be spark. That's interesting. Okay, let's see here. What does... Wow, wow, wow. Okay, we have the Queen and the King of Wands. If this is a romantic situation, maybe like a missed opportunity. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna need to clarify the Tower. What's up? What's up with? I'm gonna clarify it with the Kipper. Okay, I want to see because I see the King and Queen of Wands. So I'm kind of thinking that essentially there will be a better spark, a better connection in the future. Clarify that Tower card. What do they need to know? Maybe it wouldn't have been a good thing anyway. Maybe this change is actually a good thing. Whatever's happening, it's like leading you maybe to a better situation by somehow. We have change in high honor. And that's the one thing too is perhaps if, well, I guess if the, well, I think somehow this connection is meant for you to kind of move towards a place where you feel honored. This could be honoring yourself and the connections and the people you have around you. I think for a lot of you, this may actually lead you towards the right partner, one that's much more compatible if it's a love situation that you're asking about. It also could teach you as well to honor yourself a bit more in some way, to value yourself, not to fall apart, to be... They're also with the spark, and I see the violin and stuff, of course, there could be like some sort of creative aspect that's been channeled out of this. Like maybe somehow you're able to sort of channel your emotions or your problems into like career or into some sort of creative field, whether it's writing a song or pieces of art or whatnot. But you have to understand that this change, like whatever sort of happened here, is leading you towards a better place. And that's the thing. And I think Spirit wants you to know that you're going to come out kind of on top and valued here, at least in And there's a quote, and gosh, my phone's out there, but it's sort of like that there are many connections in our life that are only going to last for a season. And that doesn't always, they don't always last. They sort of fall apart, break apart as, they will. And maybe there are people that are more on your level out there, whether it's a job or anything like that. Like, it doesn't matter what the situation is. It's like sort of like this change, this sort of like situation. Change in this is like kind of talking about movement, essentially. What is it moving you? To high honor. You'll come out of this honorable. You'll come out of this respected. You'll come out of this living maybe your own spark, your own desire, your own wishes. Like maybe feeling more inspired, or, having there's something good that will come out of this. So that's essentially what I'm getting. I really, really, really hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you ever want to get a private reading with me, I do, offer tarot and astrology on my Etsy. As, many of you probably already know. I rarely ever advertise it because I feel like everyone probably knows. But just in case, I also have the memberships open now. So if you want some extra content, some extra fun ideas, let me know. And I'll definitely try to get those out there. Because you can send requests to the membership and it's much more likely to get done, just because of there aren't as many people, and algorithm isn't such a pain in the hiney. But yeah, but otherwise, just I appreciate each and every one of you. Leaving a comment means a lot to me. So if you want to say hi down below, let me know what you thought of the reading, let me know. But I wish you the very, very best, and I hope you have a beautiful day or night wherever you are. See you next time. So hello, my friends. You've chosen group number 2. The Vivid Journey Tarot. I love this deck. It's a beautiful one. So I'm going to go ahead and start out with an enchanted map card. So we're going to be asking Spirit. So Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, guide me in this reading for those that are drawn to this group intuitively to answer the question, will their person or will this situation somehow result in some sort of remorse or regret on the other person's part that they're asking about? Will there be regret or remorse in the future? Details in reverse. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see what the tarot says. So I'm going to take 3 cards on top and bottom, and we'll clarify and stuff like that. So will there be remorse or regret in regards to the person that they're asking about? Will they feel regret maybe for what they've done? And I'm not going to be sugarcoating these readings, okay? So just letting you know. Okay, so I'm going to give it to you straight. I don't think so. I don't think that this person would feel a lot of remorse or regret, to be honest. In fact, perhaps somehow this person feels like it's the best decision for them. There could be a lot of details or thoughts that they haven't shared with you on their end. By the way, I'm going to read this, I want to look over this details card in reverse. It says here, heed the gentle warning that perfectionism will not lead you to what you desire, but instead will steer you away from it. Nothing will be good enough when you become obsessed with being perfect. No one can ever measure up to your scrutiny, and nothing that you ever do will assuage a general feeling of not being up to par. You're perfect already, just as you are. Okay, and this is not to judge you. This is not to make you feel any way, by the way. This is just sort of the person's perspective. This person... And I'm going to take some runes here from my bag. I feel like this person somehow doesn't... No, see, they're done with it. The cycle is over. This person, whatever's happened between the two of you, they consider the cycle to be over, to be axed out. This is the ending. In fact, actually, they may feel like it was intuitively coming as well. We also have a sense of feeling kind of calm about this. They may have felt like it was for their own protection, their own good, okay? We have a pentacle there. Axe is, of course, representing the idea of cutting away at something, or the scythe, sorry. And then, of course, the pentacle in this particular rune set talks about protection. And so self-protection. And here it could be that this person felt like they couldn't live up to your standards in some way. Maybe they felt kind of bogged down in some way. And that's not to say that you are some sort of like Hitleristic kind of monster who was like trying to demand of them everything. But it's like somehow they may feel like somehow this is better for their mental health. And again, this is not in defense of them, okay? Please don't take me wrong. I'm just talking about a person's perspective, or the perspective of the situation. It may be that this is like come to an end. It just needs to come to an end, and there needs to be like, it's maybe healthier as well. So like, say for instance, even if the person was wrong, say they like lived with like great jealousy and they were constantly angry, they may feel some sort of release because they don't have that feeling anymore. You know what I mean? Almost like if you're triggering them, they won't have to feel that feeling anymore. So it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm so glad I did that thing or whatever. It's like something that they did, they feel was the right thing to do. So whether it's leaving your life or saying something or doing something, it's like sort of like, it may have been done out of self-protection too, or they may felt like it was deserved, okay? Maybe they, on their end, it's justified, whatever they've done, okay? In their mind, maybe it was a protective move or something that they felt like they needed to do, okay, in order to kind of fuel some sort of sense of security. There could be insecurity here with the Eight of Swords. We can see a lot of like maybe things that were held behind or not really exposed very well, because it's a very internal card. But the rest of the cards, to me, sort of just, they're all about sort of looking at the now and the future rather than looking back to the past. And so when we're asking a question about the past and like, will they regret it in the future? I just don't feel like that's the case here from what I'm seeing here. It feels like, again, this person somehow feels justified. Now, please don't take my words and think like, oh, what a jerk, and you're mad at me for it. I'm just displaying what I see. And maybe for you, that could be a clue, like not to worry about this person, because sometimes people can really do something that hurts us. And if there's no remorse or regret, well, then screw them. You know what I mean? I've had to learn that lesson in my life, for real. Like, screw them, you know, like if they can be so like, you know, no Jiminy Cricket on their shoulder type of people, because I've always had a pretty big conscience myself, and sorry, I can't talk. And you know what I mean? So like, I don't know how bad the situation is, or what went down. So again, this is general, but I can tell you that I just don't see a whole lot of regret or remorse in the future. I do feel like this person makes kind of a clean break and just kind of focuses on other goals. Maybe they're very distracted, you know, they have their own life, family, whatever, that kind of distracts them. So let me see anything else here about this situation. Oh, the moon. Okay. And I wanted to grab, sorry, this one right here. Yeah. This person also may be more sensitive to the judgments of their closer people, like family. Like maybe if you're not in their family group or their partner or something like that, then maybe they're not so concerned in the situation. Maybe they have other focuses on their mind as well. If by chance this is somebody choosing a different situation, like, you know, marriage and a child instead of you, again, maybe, again, it's just sort of like a fair decision on their part, because they're like, oh, well, you know, because I can see that for some of you. Maybe some of you, one or two of you, might be asking about, maybe like, will they regret marrying that person and not me? Or did they regret, you know, marrying that person and not me? Now, I would say that they were pretty happy with their choice. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean that to hurt anyone. I'm just telling you that I think that they would feel satisfied by that. Like it was the right thing to do. Like, or, you know, it's what they needed, or they need at the time, or whatever. It could be also, of course, marriage can represent commitments of any kind. So like maybe it's committing to something else, another friend, another situation. Again, Like if it's a friend you're asking about and they've kind of moved on to like different friendships or different, maybe it's someone signing a new contract or something along those lines. Again, I just feel the sense of like maybe them feeling like it was the right choice. And even if they were somehow facing some sort of adjudication for it, it's sort of like they would accept it and move on. Sort of like, okay, well, that's life, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't really feel a lot of remorse on this person's part. They also may have like, we have the High Priestess here and the Moon, the Ace of Swords. This is clarity of thought. So maybe somehow this person's like seeing into maybe this is something that's kind of intuitive on their part. Like maybe they know that somehow they would mess you up, or they know it's time for this cycle to end. That it's, time to move on. Whether it's letting you go, you know what I mean, from a job or whatever. But I don't feel a lot of remorse. If this is like a company or a job that you're asking about, then I would say likely they are sort of like, well, we'll find someone new, that sort of thing. And well, there's kind of an optimism here. And when I ask, like, again, I'm asking about the future specifically, like, will they in the future regret it? And again, I'm just kind of not getting a strong remorseful energy. If in the farther in the future they get away from the situation, the less remorse they will have as well. Okay, that's another thing. They may feel some sort of trapped thoughts about it initially. Especially if like this is something recent, they may still be going through some sort of like thing. And of course, this could also impact on how you would decide you want to act with the situation. I would say now or in the near future type of thing, or in this beginning time frame of whatever happened, there is thoughts. There is some sort of regret, remorse, perhaps, or like trapped feelings, thoughts about it. But as time progresses and life moves on, the person moves away from the fear or the problem. You know what I mean? So it's like sort of like someone who would move on and look back on it probably without much like care. It's kind of like they're a move forward type of person. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Like I said, hopefully, I know it's probably going to piss a few people off, but that's okay. The life of a pick-a-card reader. Anyway, let's see here. I want to ask about maybe something you should know. Whatever it is that Spirit wants to bring through for you in regards to the situation. Okay? So, what needs to be known? The Sun. The Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Wands. Well, this is about not letting maybe everyone into your space, being confident, kind of more solo, happy, that sort of thing. This might also be that there was a good boundary here for a reason, like this boundary is good, or this situation is somehow we have goblins. Whether or not you're with this person or not, okay? Now, if this is a situation, by the way, let me just say something really quick. If this is a situation in which you're with this person, but maybe they did something in the past and you're kind of wondering, I mean, that's a different thing. They might have moved on from it because they don't feel like it was that big of a deal already, or they've just tried to kind of move on. Maybe they still have some kind of remorse, but eventually they'll move away from it as time goes on. With the Goblins card, let's see. This card speaks about goblins are born when you're wounded and something essential is lost in that experience. From that point on, as you forget your wholeness, they remain with you in the shadows. There they remind you of what brought them into being by mimicking your own voice, tricking you into believing that you're unworthy, victimized, and unlovable. They hold you hostage through low self-worth, self-sabotage, and the feeling that you're lacking what you need. If goblins pay you a visit, know that they represent the shadow of your own self or someone else's, and that they're leading you into a potentially reactive situation. A goblin's card appearance is an opportunity for growth, however, and a signal that you must love yourself. No human is without flaws. The goblin's message is that you must release resentments and negative self-talk. Within you is the spark of divine. Ask Spirit to help you. Miracles can and do happen, and let go of the negativity. So whatever this is, it's like Spirit's like encouraging you to let go of it, to have confidence. Like, I mean, holy smokes. I mean, like the Sun and the Nine of Pentacles, like whatever this is, don't let it define your worth. Don't let it become a goblin in your life, where it's sort of like that nasty little goblin that that comes out and like, yeah, and it's mean to you. Don't like let this turn into, again, this negative self-talk. Stand strong here with your boundaries in terms of like letting those goblins in. That's what I really feel. Like Spirit's like, don't let this get to you. Like, don't let this define who you are. Whatever the experience is, try not to let it define your future or keep you back from happiness or self-fulfillment, okay? Now, if you're already doing that, of course you don't need that message, but for those that do, there is your message from Spirit. So I want to thank you all for being here. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful, lovely day or night wherever you are. Personal readings are available on Etsy, whether it's astrology or tarot. And I also have my memberships open. So if you want extra content, I will be posting extra content in there. So far I have like 2 videos up on there. I just started it. So yeah, I have a lot of content planned, and of course I'll be honoring a lot of requests there. So $6.99 gets you into the videos, like, basically. And then of course if you get like the $29.99, you can even get a personal reading and stuff like that every month, as well as all the other stuff and the other perks. But yeah, anyway, I send you so much love, and I hope, like I said, you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you next time. Hello, my friends. So if you've chosen the After Tarot, let's go ahead and, this is group number 3, of course. Let's cleanse the area and say a little prayer. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, guide me in this reading. For those that are drawn to this intuitively, this message, will this person of theirs, if that's on their mind, or this situation, will there be remorse or regret in the future on their part for the actions or the things that they've said, or whatever the situation may be that they're asking about? Will there be regret or remorse about this? So let's ask. Ooh, we got stuck in the mud. Okay, in the reverse. So yeah, definitely something that's sticking them in the mud. Let me see. Will there be regret or remorse here? Yeah, I feel like one thing I will say is that it seems somehow this person could come back around, or for some of you, if this is such a situation. Yeah, let's see here. Clarify the Ace of Pentacles. This feels like a missed opportunity for some of you. Like they are missing out on an opportunity. They're missing out on an ability to say something that you're asking about, maybe. Look at that, came out in reverse, the Knight of Wands. I'll keep it down. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so I have the Stuck in the Mud card in the reverse. Where is my little... What the hell? I just had it. My book. Where did it go? I swear to God I just had it. That's odd. Well, to me... Oh, there it is. I see it. Well, okay, I can just read the card. So the Stuck in the Mud card reverses. When this card is reversed, it reminds you that you're stuck due to your obstinate desire to get what you want, when and how you want it. Perhaps it's uncomfortable to admit that the course of action right now you've chosen for yourself isn't right for you now. Even so, you have a choice. You can struggle in the mud and get nowhere, or take a moment to observe where you are, then step out, wash away the dirt, dry off, and find other things to do. A much better adventure awaits you, and you know when it's time to embark upon it. This is like kind of an obstinate energy. And I kind of got that anyway from the Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. It's almost like somebody who is like missing an opportunity, or it's like maybe it's someone who doesn't want to say sorry, or it's not a person who wants to like take some sort of opportunity. It feels like maybe they are making other choices. I'm not exactly sure the entire situation, but I can tell you, will there be remorse? Well, geez, not exactly, but that doesn't mean that the person wouldn't come back around, okay? These cards don't really cry out to me as being very remorseful or very disappointed in oneself. It's almost like they're not seeing the picture. of what's going on here. So I don't know if this person's actually, it's kind of like group number 2. I'm not sure that this person, because the Emperor is pretty haughty. Like, he thinks he's like, he knows it. And maybe, like I said, this is a situation where in the end, maybe he feels comfortable, he has his family, he has his happiness. Not that it's a he that I'm speaking about, but I'm just saying that, like, 10 of Cups and the Emperor, like, they're creating their own happiness in some way. So let me ask a little bit more what's going on here, because this is almost like no, and they're not going to change that in the future. Like, I'm almost thinking for some of you, like, it might be like type of thing where the moon came out again. What the hell? The moon came out for group number 2. Were some of you, like, attracted to the same group? I'm wondering, because that's really weird that it came out twice. Not too common for that to happen. I feel like, first of all, maybe intuitively you already kind of know the answer to this. Maybe you're hoping for something different, but maybe you know that this person's kind of selfish and focused on themselves, and they're not the type to actually have remorse. And if that's the truth, and you know that in your intuition, like, you know that in your heart, then your answer, you know your answer already, and you're not surprised by this. You're like, yeah, okay, I kind of thought so. You know what I mean? Some of you may be kind of hearing this and be like, oh, figures, asshole. You know what I mean? Like, what a jerk. But yeah, I kind of feel like that's the case. It may be that somehow this person, you know what's interesting? We have Loyal Heart in reverse came out, but we have soulmates and No Place Like Home. And again, this could speak to, like, there is a soul connection here. There is an importance to this connection. But Loyal Heart, the loyalty's not there. The loyalty's just not there on their end for you. Maybe on the same level. Maybe for you, you feel like a lot more sensitive towards this person's needs than they feel towards yours. It could also be that if you were disloyal in some way, that they are, like, checked out. They're like, no, this is just a sex situation. So, you know, these are going to be various situations. You'll know whether you fit the part of being disloyal to them as an example. And they're like, no, I'm making a good decision for myself. I'm making a decision for my happiness. This doesn't feel equal. You know what I mean? So you'll know. You know, that's not going to be for everyone. It's going to be for where that fits. Okay? But the protection message of loyalty, Loyal Heart. It says, are you stubborn or overly tenacious about an idea? Again, stubborn vocabulary coming through. The stubborn person. Or overly tenacious about an idea. Or have you become so attached to something that you just don't know how to let it go? Could it be that it's become so much a part of you that you wouldn't know who you are without it? Now is the time to look at outdated beliefs, old ideas, and misplaced loyalties. Betrayal is only a signal that it is time to prune away all that don't deserve your trust and have no place in your life. Be new, think new, and open your heart to new things. Let go of the old and all your attachments. Spirit has awesome plans for you, and make some room. Now, again, too, this may be like if this person has made mistakes in the past and you're wondering if they still regret it. Maybe they've tried to move on from that. You know what I mean? Or that's their plan, is to kind of move past this. That they're not, like, trying to pay attention to it, to put their focus on it. Yeah, but I feel like for others of you, again, that might be a message to you, you know. Have you been, like, super loyal to this person and they didn't really show you loyalty back? Well, then, you know, maybe that's a signal that maybe this whole reading is a signal that this person isn't going to see your side of the street. And, you know what I mean? And that's kind of a deal breaker sometimes on, you know, in terms of that. It should be, especially if it's bad enough that, like, it's not worth compromising yourself for, your integrity or, you know, your feelings. But let's see. I do feel like this person's, though, feeling some sort of focus on family, home. Maybe they have a solid kind of foundation around them that they're kind of relying on, and that distracts them. And the other thing for some of you, by the way, especially, like, if you're with this person perhaps, or you're still in contact or whatever, it's like maybe they don't dwell on it. They try to move past it. Like, they try to move past their mistakes, accept them, and, you know, move on in a healthier manner as well. So again, that may resonate with some of you as, like, if you and this person are kind of still friends, still together, still in contact. Again, maybe they don't dwell on the past. Maybe they're like, that was the past, that's not me, I've matured, I'm not that person anymore. I'm not going to sit here and beat myself up about something I did. You know what I mean? And honestly, that should be the goal. for us is it's to forgive ourselves. And I tell you guys, forgive yourself for your mistakes, just like I would tell that person to forgive themselves and not repeat them, of course, too. You know what I mean? Don't repeat the mistakes, but I would tell that to anyone, even if I'm loyal to you and as a, what I consider you guys my friends, of course, you know what I mean? And if someone hurts you, I don't like that. But at the same time, just like I would tell anyone, we have to let go of our past mistakes. We're all F-ups. We've all done something bad. And holding on to grudges against ourselves and our past actions aren't always healthy. And I think that might be this person's perspective in the future. Like somehow it's just like, well, learn my lesson. I'm moving on now and I'm going to make better choices in the future. That kind of thing. That's the vibe I get, okay? So it doesn't feel like as if they're careless towards it. Initially, yes, they may be quite stubborn, okay? Initially, this person may take some time to get out of this mud, like this stubborn mud. But I think eventually there is a moving forward. And again, it might be a rejection of immature behavior with the Knight of Wands and the Emperor right next to it. There might be a maturity that comes forth and, enables this person to really look at their actions and be like, that was shitty, but I'm not going to beat myself up about it, because I was who I was, you know what I mean? It's like, there are things I've said when I was younger or did when I was younger, and it's just like, what a jerk, or that was kind of a jerk move. And it's like, I could sit there and dwell on it all day, but it's not going to fix it. It's not going to erase it. The best I could do is say sorry. You know what I mean? I'm not that person anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, even I'm not the person at 35 that I was at 30. I wasn't the same person at 30 as that I was at 25. You know what I mean? There's always growth and possibility. I think this person actually could own up to it. Know it's bad, but not feel regret, whatever this is. Okay? So hopefully that's going to resonate with you guys. I'm going to get some message for you in regards to the situation. Okay? So maybe kind of what you need to know and all that sort of thing. Hopefully this reading is in some way helpful to you. Sacred Pool in the reverse. And let's see. So what do they need to know? Fours. You got fours. Four of Pentacles, Four of Wands. And the Lovers. Well, certainly, I see happiness in terms of like love here. So if you're already with somebody, focusing on that person, on your own home, on your own family, your own people. If you don't have anyone right now, knowing that you will feel that sort of secure foundation, that secure reciprocated love in the future. The other thing I would say is that somehow, okay, so the Four of Pentacles is quite greedy, kind of holding on to something for dear life because they're afraid they might lose it. But we have great fortune here. So it's almost like Spirit somehow telling you, like, there's so much more ahead of you. Don't hold on to this situation. Like, especially like a work thing or a money thing, it's sort of like you'll be blessed in other ways. Like, you'll be blessed is what I feel. Like, you do have so many blessings ahead of you, guys. Like, seriously. And maybe you already have them now. Sacred Pool in reverse says, it can be difficult to overcome denial when there's a reward for staying where you are. If you can't accept and love yourself, you remain trapped, wearing a false mask of victimhood. The benefit of embracing denial and the victim's mask is that you never have to take a real risk. Dimming your light serves no one. Turning away from the truth that is reflected in the stillness of the sacred pool keeps you in denial, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Such vain efforts lead to a tedious, boring existence. Take the risk and shine your beautiful light into the world. Look into the mirror and see the truth. Surrender the need to self-sabotage. Remember that you have a responsibility not just to yourself but to the divine spark within you. Courage is not about an absence of fear. Accept the discomfort of seeing with clear eyes, and you'll soon find that wondrous adventures are waiting for you. Step into your magical life and take the leap of faith, and that's so interesting. First of all, if anyone feels like they're drowning in this sometimes, like maybe anger, bitterness, resentment towards a situation, Spirit's definitely encouraging you to kind of let go and look on the bright side, to embrace your own fortune that's out there for you, that's waiting for you. Whether it's in the future or already around you, you know what I mean? So wow, you're certainly not going to be denied blessings in the future, that's for sure. And so whatever this situation this person put you through, or whatever situation happened, it's like, yeah, I think they'll see the error of their ways. They may not hold on to it and like live like every day in tears and regret and remorse. But I mean, come on, who's likely to do that anyway? You know, we get distracted by our life anyway. But sometimes we'll look back at a situation like, dang, I could have done better. And I think that this person definitely will see that through wisdom at some point. But I don't think they'll let it eat them up and like, you know, turn them into like, you know, an alcoholic who never goes anywhere in life. You know what I mean? It's not going to control their life in that sense. So, you know what I mean? That's good. You know, we don't want people to purely suffer, right? But yeah, for you, it's like sort of spirit coming in and saying, hey, you know, don't focus on the situation so much. You got your answer, and you take that and you make something beautiful with it. Okay? So I hope that this reading was helpful, and I really do, yeah, I hope it helped you, and I hope that I see you again in the next reading. I love it. You guys left a comment below. Let me know if you chose this group. Did it resonate? What did you think of it? Are you mad at me? If you're pissed, tell me. You're like, Lisa, I didn't want to hear this crap. You know, tell me. It's all right. I'll give it a heart. I'm pretty cool. If you want to get a personal reading with me, of course, that's available always on my Etsy. You know, as of this reading, of course, in the future, it could change. Always check up the description box. Don't fall for scammers, please. And I never solicit people for readings. If you do want to join my membership section, which is up at the top, or somehow my profile maybe too. Some people aren't seeing it on certain devices. But yeah, you can join now and get extra content. So at $6.99 a month, you get extra videos and posts and stuff like that, and custom emojis and all that fun stuff. So yeah, if you want that, that's cool. If you want to say thank you in a, you know, a bigger way, there's always my wish list, and or super thanks on the video. You can tip it if you want to, but you know, feel free just to like leave a comment. It's free. It brings a smile to my face. It brings joy to my heart, and yeah, it's free. So you don't have to do anything like besides move your fingers. So I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day. Okay, take care. Hello, my friends. How are you doing? Hopefully good. Hopefully we're going to get some interesting answers. The groups have all had very unique messages. Well, kind of 2 and 3 were kind of similar, but yeah, it's really fun to do this kind of reading, something different. I haven't seen one like this. I'm sure that it's been done before. I think every topic's been done, but I haven't seen one anytime recently that I've known of. And so I thought, well, dang, this is actually kind of an interesting topic. So I wanted to honor it by letting you guys, and hopefully it will somehow heal, or I don't know, hopefully heal something inside of you if you need to hear it, and we'll see what goes on here. I've got the Elemental Tarot. This was a gift from Stephen. Thank you, Stephen. And let's see, Spirit Guides, Angels, Ancestors. For those who have drawn group number 4, that's right to have drawn here. What is the answer to the question? Will the person on their mind feel the correct in the future? What is going to go on there in that situation? We got 2 of them. We have Field of Dreams and Stuck in the Mud. Stuck in the Mud came out in the previous pile. That's funny. Okay, but it came out in the reverse. So I'm going to take 6 cards, 3 on top, 3 on bottom. Oof. Oh no. Hold on. I can't say oh no without that dang TikTok thing going in my head. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Does anyone else have that problem? I don't even watch TikTok, but I heard other people doing it, and then yeah. Okay, we got a lot of fire showing up here. Will this person regret their actions or what they've done in the future? Will they have remorse or regret in the future? The person on their mind. Well, geez, what the heck? hell is up with these people that we're asking about? I don't think so. It's another one of those where I'm not quite sure that they feel maybe it's a sense of remorse or regret that you're looking for. This could indicate that somehow everything is righted or kind of fixed in the future, but maybe whatever it is, maybe they won't feel regret because you guys will be able to heal it and fix it. Okay? So there's that very, great possibility. But no, this does not seem like the energy. We have the Six of Swords, the Eight of Wands. We have Temperance, the Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. These are all quite comfortable cards. The Six of Swords, of course, talks about moving forward and getting out of stormy waters. So, there's a good chance that for a lot of you, this is different than the other groups in the sense that maybe somehow this can be repaired or fixed. And so therefore, the remorse won't be there. Okay? So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. In fact, actually, if this is something that's happened recently, like maybe it's something that's happened quite recently, there may be a resurgence of some kind, or that you'll be able to somehow quite move on from this situation. Maybe the both of you in some way. Okay? We have healing heart here. Healing from a heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction, and date, meaning someone new. For some of you, of course, it might mean that there's like a moving on from this energy to new people. But I think for others of you, there is going to be a strong chance to maybe heal the connection or heal what went wrong. So if it was like really a situation where someone said something hurtful out of anger or, I don't know, something along those lines, maybe it just doesn't feel like, well, number one, I just don't see a lot of regret or remorse necessarily, okay? And I'm kind of thinking that has something to do with the fact that maybe it's just not going to last, like whatever the problem is. Like there might be some sort of peace. Maybe this is a love relationship or they care about you a lot, that sort of thing. Yeah, so this is a bit different than the other groups. No remorse, but I think it's because there's like some sort of situation here that will balance itself out, is what I'm getting, okay? So it's like they wouldn't have much room. It's not like they lost you forever or something. Do you get what I'm saying? It might be that you move on, they move on from it. And yeah, we have meditation. And we have got High Priestess of Earth. So to me, like a very grounded kind of perspective. Again, contemplation and so on and so forth may kind of actually, enable this person to make better choices in the future as well. That lead to a lack of remorse. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe they won't regret it. I really just don't feel like this person's going to regret it because it's somehow going to come back together, or you know what I mean? The Field of Dreams in the upright can talk about vast potential that's not realized yet, okay? So this could be about being clear about your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, concentrating on your best life, regardless of the temporary outer conditions imposed upon you by the greater world. Yeah, this is like, it says you will reap what you've sown. But like, it's good. So I think honestly what we're seeing here is that this person's just temporarily this situation's temporary. And by the way, the stuck in the mud in the upright, which it didn't come up upright in the previous group, okay? It came in the reverse. This can talk about, now is not the time to move forward, but to observe. Clarity about your circumstances will come at a little bit later. Stop and find the joy in what you've been overlooking. Soon you'll be out of the mud, but for now be still and know that Spirit has a plan for you. And that's sort of like, this is temporary. Like, that's the thing about because the elephant in reverse usually, the stuck in the mud card in reverse is always like, kind of like, they don't want to get out of the mud. They just want to like dwell in it, and like they're stubborn and that sort of thing. The stuck in the mud on the upright's more about taking the time to slow down. And again, with all the fire energy, maybe this person's reactive. Maybe somehow whatever this was a reaction that was too hectic, too quick. It's not lasting. It's not forever. This somehow can be fixed or something like that. And therefore, you're not going to see as much regret in the future because by that time, again, there may have been a healing that's happened again, because we had the healing heartbreak come out, right? So totally different energy than the other groups, actually. This is interesting, okay? And I do feel like there's love here. Like, this is love, okay? Like, this person's heart's bound to you in some way. This is a sealed deal. This person cares about you. They wouldn't feel right without you, that sort of thing here. Imprisonment and poverty, like I think if you weren't in their life, it's going to get to them. and they'll have to make a choice that's better for them, okay? That's kind of what I'm feeling. So, yeah, if you chose the right group, you know what I mean? Because this isn't, you know, an intuitive practice on your part as a viewer, but it's like this person still values you. And in fact, they may even come back with a gift or an offering of peace, especially if there's some sort of like, you know, problem here. I do feel like this person values you a lot, though. This doesn't feel like that type of thing. And again, that's just why I'm not getting remorse. Maybe remorse in the sense of like, there will be an understanding of the actions. There'll be a moving on, though. So yeah, it doesn't feel like, I mean, naturally, if we patch things up, we don't sit there. We may sit there sometimes and regret, but maybe this isn't such a situation where, you know, that's not to say they would never feel any remorse or regret, but I don't think it would eat them up inside or, you know, that sort of thing. It's sort of like, yeah, I just feel like you guys are going to move on from the situation. And so are they. But I think it's going to be most likely together, okay? I might actually ask really quickly about that for you guys, just because it's a little bit different than the other groups. Because there might be like a rare few of you that like, yeah, this person will have regret and you guys are going to move on and it's not a big deal for either of you. But I don't think so. I think that's minority here. What's the kind of future projection for most people of this relationship? Like what's kind of happening in the future here for the most of the people choosing this group here? 9 of Pentacles. 3 of Swords. And 10 of Cups. Yeah, this is going to be healed, okay? The future is happy. There may be a separation, an argument, but whatever this is, it's healed, okay? So the 3 of Swords and the 10 of Cups, you may be feeling mad at someone because you guys are having a temporary fight or a temporary problem. So again, I do see maybe, you know, there's pride here, you know, at work. I'm, you know, prideful type of stuff or, you know, trying to be, you know, cool or whatever. But I don't feel like this is going to last, okay? Whatever this pain is, whatever the separation, if there's a third party involved, whether it's romantic or not, whether it's like a, you know, sort of some sort of third thing coming through, it's not going to last forever, okay? This situation, like this relationship, it can heal, okay? So, yeah, some of you may be asking about like maybe a family member or maybe it's a lover or like a friend. I don't know. There's something here where there's a love here between the two of you. There's a bond. There's something deeper here than I think a lot of the other people who chose these groups. And you know what I mean? It's like, I was talking to my husband, because I've been having my own drama in my life about like who I'm letting in my life and who I let kind of tamper with my feelings and all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, I've cut a few people out recently, and I know it's not easy. It's just better for me. But you know, I was talking to my husband, kind of justifying it a little bit about one particular situation in my family, and it was like, you know, it's just like one of those things where you have to pick and choose who you're going to let into your life. Like, and sometimes everyone will mess up. You know, my mom and I have had such a like roller coaster of a relationship sometimes, but I love her dearly and she's my buddy. You know what I mean? Like, she's my buddy. She's my mom. I can talk to her about anything, even if she gets crazy sometimes, even if we've had arguments, you know, and it's like my mother-in-law too. Like, you know, we haven't always had the roughest, you know, I mean, the easiest, you know, we've had our rough times and stuff like that. But it's like, and yeah, she has some habits that maybe I don't like a lot. But you know what? On the whole, she's mostly good. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's worth the effort. You know what I mean? Like, her faults, you know, and I have my own faults, and we all have our own faults. And like, this is that feeling. You know what I mean? It's like, I love you anyway. Like, I don't give a shit if you said that thing to me. Most of the time you say good things, and I want to repair this. And vice versa, I'm like on this person, it just feels like this is like a good connection or something where it should come back together somehow. I really think so. I mean, unless maybe you guys are bound and determined. But I don't even feel like, if you don't feel like this is your message, then you might have chosen the wrong group, okay? Because this feels like what we can put up with. You know what I mean? Like, we can heal this situation. This is what I feel, okay? Or somehow this relationship can be healed. And what a unique message that came through here. Okay, so what shall I do next? I wanted to maybe get some advice or like a message for you. Let me see. So what is the message for that group number 4 needs to hear at this time? Like those that are tuning into this group that are intuitively drawn. Ooh, chop wood. This can be about focusing on organizing your own life. This can be about focusing on what you need to get done. This might be like take this time to just, get your chores done, get your life together in order. Sometimes that's one of the best things. And we have humility as well as being part of this, being grounded in everyday experience. It says, there are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is a forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it is in blossom. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it to let nature take its course is an important step in manifestation. And this is interesting because it's, again, kind of like the lesson around some of these relationships that we love. Everyone will disappoint us. It's a given. But it's what we do with that disappointment. Whether we can love them despite it, and that's what love is. We can't accept the faults and the flaws, you know what I mean? Of course, unless, of course, they get too abusive and terrible, of course. Come on, we don't torture ourselves or anything like that. But I don't feel like this is the case. Like I said, if that's the case, then I think you picked the wrong group. Then I would definitely go back to the beginning and recheck what you're thinking. Not what you're thinking. Wow, that sounded rude. I didn't mean it that way. My Aries Mercury. I mean, just recheck what you drew. You know what I mean? Or you chose here. Because I think maybe this wouldn't kind of talk about such a situation. But yeah. So this is sort of like focusing on yourself. We have the spiral. The other thing, too, is that focusing on your own direction, your own protection, and maybe for some reason this situation doesn't need your attention right now. Maybe it's better for you to focus on your life instead of allowing whatever the situation is to dominate your brain or your heart or whatever by any means. And you also have autonomy in relationships in terms of being able to choose how you want to be treated. You can make ground rules too, so just keep that in mind. Okay, anyway, lots of love to you guys. I really hope that this helped in some way. Very interesting message coming through, and I wish you all the very, very best. I'd love it if you guys left me a comment below. Let me know if you chose group number 4. But yeah, otherwise, if you want a personal reading with me, all of that's available through my Etsy. I have links in my description box, so if you are watching this at some point in the future and I've moved to my own website, it would all be listed in the description box. Please don't fall for scammers. I'm not going to message you on WhatsApp, Instagram, or anywhere else asking you if you want a reading. I never have ever done that. I would never. Okay? I have enough people coming to me. I don't need to go to anyone else. Anyway, so I don't do that. So please don't fall for any scammers. And some of them can really look like us. They steal our pictures. They do it all. They really go through trouble. And some of them even buy more followers than I have on Instagram too. I'm like, dude, I don't have that many followers. What? But anyway, I do those. And then of course, if you want to join the memberships, I have membership open on YouTube. So it's kind of like Patreon, but for YouTube. And you can join in. There's a subscription. $2.99 gets you custom emojis and posts and a special set of posts every month. And then of course on the $6.99 level you get videos, extra pick-a-cards. So I do other pick-a-cards for that. I am not going to be dedicating or anything like that to that, to the members and leaving you out in the cold here if you can't afford it. That's not me. So don't worry. You'll still get good content here. It's just if you want some extra and you have the money. And then of course if you do $29.99, you get all of the previous tiers and benefits, and then you get a personal reading every month. So 2 questions or a monthly reading, whatever you choose. So anyway, it's actually a really good deal because I cost $28 plus tax anyway for a 2 question or a monthly reading. So you get all the other stuff for $1.99 basically. Anyway, but I do wish you the very best. Of course, you can do wish list stuff if you want to thank me or super chat. But like I always say, comments are free and they mean a lot to me. So that's good enough for me. I hope that you have a beautiful day. Take care, guys, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.